We start with breaking news at noon. A tornado watch is now issued for parts of North Georgia as we track the risk of severe storms headed our way right now. Well, we have team coverage with our 11 Alive storm trackers, so let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb. And hey guys, a very wet morning out there.
It really is, and we're watching this line of storms that are moving our way. Chesley's been monitoring this all morning long. We're watching these storms now move through Alabama, and Chesley, just within the past few minutes, a new tornado watch was issued, including parts of Northwest and West Georgia, as we're tracking these storms moving our way.
Yeah, that watch means that we're watching for the potential for tornadoes to move into the area. The ingredients are there. We don't have any warnings as of yet, and there's not many tornado warnings right along that line so far, Chris. You can see the severe thunderstorm warnings along that line.
Yeah, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings along with that. And with that, we have that line of storms that has the heavy rain with it and winds of around 60 miles an hour. And Chesley, what we're watching as we get into the afternoon hours is our atmosphere is pretty conducive as this line moves through. I know, this looks like a thin line pushing into our direction, but as it comes in, any part of that line does have the potential, due to our atmospheric conditions, to turn into rotating thunderstorms that could cause some tornadoes here in our area.
Especially for the far northwestern counties,
yeah.
And so you really have to be weather aware for this afternoon. We want to walk you through this radar real quick here, Chris, and you can see that line you were just talking about, just to the west of Huntsville now, starting to the east. A lot of what you see here just to the southwest of Huntsville will start to slide up toward the northeast, and that could clip our northwestern counties, so we're really concerned about that this afternoon, and we'll put a time on that for you in just a few. Right now in our area, we only have some scattered showers around. You can see where the tornado watch extends almost into Atlanta, but as that storm moves a little closer, I suspect that this watch will be extended.
That's what we're thinking. We really think that this is supposed to be in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon, this watch, but I really think that they'll be extending that to include the metro area, and that might then extend that expiration time till a little bit later too.
All right, let you know what you can expect. We take a look at our storm prediction, or the Storm Prediction Center's map, and they have adjusted this so far this afternoon. So this is the latest information that's coming to us now. We can see that the level 3 threat, we talked about this level 3 threat, or an enhanced risk for severe weather. It has now been extended. All morning long we were showing you this over mainly the far northwestern counties, and now you can see that extends all the way up into Rayburn County as well. This is the level 3 threat, or an enhanced risk for severe weather. Just south of that is where we have the level 2 threat. Heavy rain, the damaging winds, of course, and we cannot rule out a brief tornado. Now it's a little bit more likely that we could see tornadoes in this level 3 area. Here in the metro area, a little bit further down to the south, there is the possibility for a brief spin-up tornado, so you're certainly not out of it just because we're not in that level 3 threat. And then further down to the south, you can see down toward the Macon area, the level 1 threat for severe weather. So again, the heavy rain, of course, we have that in the moderate category, and also the damaging winds that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes here. Low threat for tornadoes, but again, we got to be weather ready, folks, so just in case we get a brief spin-up, and then we're not so much worried about that hail. Outside of these thunderstorms, the winds already starting to pick up out there. They could be very strong as well, could down some trees. Meteorologist Melissa Nord here to talk more about that. Melissa?
And we've been watching, Chesley, the last couple of hours, those winds already starting to pick up. We have a wind advisory for all the metro area that runs until 11 o'clock tonight. And you see here in this bright orange color up in northwest Georgia, that's a high wind warning where the winds could actually top as much as 50 miles per hour with those gusts outside of thunderstorms. And look at these winds picking up. We were watching that live camera in Rome a couple minutes ago. The winds now gusting there to 36 miles per hour, 21 mile per hour gusts in Canton and Carrollton as well. And the winds the next couple of hours will pick up in the metro area as well in advance of those storms. So here's the hour by hour picture of those wind gusts. As we approach the 2 o'clock hour today, those winds could be gusting around 40 miles per hour here in Atlanta and anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour across the metro. And they'll peak as those storms are coming through. And even after the storms leave us, still staying breezy for the rest of the evening. But finally, as we approach 11 o'clock tonight, we'll see those wind gusts coming down a bit. So outside of thunderstorms, a couple of isolated tree limbs could come down, and also talking about that risk of some power outages. So you'll want to secure any loose objects. And of course, with the tornado watch ongoing until 5 o'clock, have a way to get warnings. Have a way to get warnings, folks. And Chesley, Chris, Andrew, Wilson, and myself here tracking these storms as they come in.
Yeah, and Melissa, with a severe weather threat, several school districts are now deciding to dismiss early. So we're working right now to get that information for you online at 11alive.com. Our 11 Alive storm trackers are keeping a close eye on these storms, so make sure you stay weather aware even when we're not on air with our 11 Alive news app. You can use your phone to scan the QR code right now to download the app for free. Then you can turn on weather alerts for the latest in your neighborhood.